Similarly, we have a life cycle of the broadfish tapeworm Diphyllobothrium latum, which may attain a length of 3 to 10 meters in length. Just as in cattle, its adult may be in the small intestine of human, and then through crustaceans and fishes, we may be getting it from raw or uncooked food that we are getting. Now, we go to molluscan success, Annelida, the metameric body form. Phylum Mollusca is still under the Lophotrochozoans evolutionary relationship of mollusks to other animals. This figure would depict to us an interpretation of the relationship of the mollusca to other members of the animal kingdom. The relationship depicted here are based on evidence from developmental and molecular biology. Mollusks are placed within the Lophotrochozoa along with Annelida, Platyhelminthes, Porifera, and some others that we may not be discussing. The phylum Mollusca includes nearly 100,000 living species, including members of the class Cephalopoda, some of the invertebrates' most adept predators. The blue-ringed octopus, the Apoloclena, is shown here. 4 species of Apoloclena are found in the Pacific Ocean from Japan to Australia. This very small octopus has a very powerful venom containing tetrodotoxin, the same found in cone snails and pufferfish. The venom causes respiratory paralysis and is powerful enough to kill a human. The mollusca are incredibly diverse, ranging from tiny snails to giant squids. Their body has 2 main regions, the head-foot, which contains the mouth and the foot for movement, and the visceral mass, which houses internal organs and provides the weight of the body. Most mollusks has a mantle that can secrete a shell. Examples would include snails, clams, squids, and octopuses. Mollusks are important both ecologically and economically as food, shell sources, and even in jewelry. They range in size and body form from the largest of all invertebrates. We have the acoelomate, which is a giant squid, measuring 80 meters in length, to the smallest garden slug, less than 1 centimeter in length. In spite of this diversity, the phylum Mollusca is not difficult to characterize. With its 2 body parts, with the head, foot, and the visceral mass, the mantle that secretes a calcareous shell and covers the visceral mass, the mantle cavity function in excretion, gas exchange, elimination of digestive waste, and release of reproductive products. Bilateral symmetry, Arthropoda larvae, a spiral cleavage, and schistoscillus coelom formation. Open circulatory system in all but one class, which is the Cephalopoda. The radula is present and is used in scraping the food. The molluscan shell and mantle. A transverse section of a bivalve shell and a mantle shown the 3 layers of the shell and the portion of the mantle responsible for shell secretion. We have the periostracum, prismatic layer, and then the nacreous layer that contains the smooth and the soft body of this animal. Radular structure. The radular structure lies over the cartilaginous odontophore. Muscle attached to the radula, moving the radula back and forth over the odontophore that may be used to open and close the hard shell of this molluscan organism. There are various classes under the phylum Mollusca. The first one is the class Ctenophora. They are worm-like mollusks with cylindrical body, shell-less body, and scale-like calcareous spicules. Example are those organisms that burrow themselves in the deep water of marine ecosystem. Example is the Chaetoderma. Next, we have the class Solenogastrus. Shell and mantle that covers the body and foot is lacking. They are worm-like with ventral groove. Example are the marine Neomenia. And then we have the class Polyplacophora. They have elongated body and are dorsoventrally flattened. They live on marine ecosystem on rocky intertidal substrates. Example are the chiton. Then we have the class Monoplacophora. Mollusks with a single arch shell, foot broad and flat, certain structures serially repeated. They are mostly marine. Example is the Neopilina. Then we have the class Gastropoda. Shell is present, usually coiled. Body symmetrical, distorted by a torsion. Some monoecious species, marine, freshwater, and terrestrial, are its ecosystem. Example are the Nerita, Ortaliculus, Helix, about 35,000 species under the class Gastropoda. Then we have the class Cephalopoda. Food is modified into a circle of tentacles and siphon. Examples would be marine organisms such as octopus, loligo, or pusit, the sepia, nautilus, approximately 550 species under this. Then we have the class Bivalvia. Body is enclosed in a shell containing of two valves, hinged dorsally, no head or radula, wedge-shaped foot, and marine and freshwater are its ecosystem. Example are your Anodonta, Mytilus, Venus, which is 30,000 species under the class Bivalvia. Then lastly, we have the class Capopoda. Body is enclosed in tubular shell that is open at both ends. Tentacles used for deposit feeding. They are mostly marine. Examples are Dentalium, about 300 species under this class. First one is under the class Codofaviata, the Chaetoderma, with its spicuous, something like a fur. And then we have under the class Solenogastris, the Neomenia yamamotoi. Then we have Polyplacophora. An example is the chiton. We have 8 shells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have Monoplacophora. Example is the Neopilina. And then single-shelled organisms. And then we have coiled-shelled organism under Gastropoda. We have Ortaliculus, Nerita, and Helix, which is spiral in shaped shells. Then we have Cephalopoda. We have example Loligo, Nautilus, Octopus, and then the Sepia. Then under Bivalvia, we have Mytilus, Venus, and Anodonta. Then lastly, we have under Scapopoda, we have Dentalium that is open on both ends, looking like a tooth under the water. Now the gastropod structure. The white-lipped garden snail or the Sepae hortensis is a pulmonate gastropod. The second one is the internal structure of a pulmonate gastropod, Sepaea hortensis. The shell is not shown and the visceral mass would be covered by mantle. The portion of the mantle surrounding the mantle cavity is vascular and functions as a lungs. The mantle cavity opens to the outside through a pneumostome, thus an open circulatory and respiratory system. Next one are beautiful variations in the gastropod body form. The first one on top is a subclass Prosobranchia. This heteropod is a predator that swims upside down in the open ocean. Its body is clearly transparent. The head is at the left and the reduced shell is at the right. Heteropoda is a superfamily of Prosobranch, composed of open ocean swimming snails with a fin-like foot and reduced shell. The second one, the middle one, the subclass Opistobranchia. Colorful nudibranchs, they are called nudibranchs, have no shell or mantle cavity. The projections on the dorsal surface are used in gas exchange. In some nudibranchs, the dorsal projections are armed with nematocysts for projections. Nudibranchs prey on sessile animals such as soft corals and sponges. Then lastly, we have the subclass Pulmonata. They are what we call terrestrial slugs, or what we commonly see in our garden, or Areolimux columbianus. They lack a shell, noting that the opening to the lungs or the pneumostome. This photograph was taken in the temperate rainforest ecosystem of National Park in Washington. Then, the inside view of a bivalve shell. The umbo is the oldest part of the bivalve shell. As the bivalve glows, the mantle lays down more shells in concentric line of growth. Next, we have bivalve diversity. The first one, this one, is the giant clam, or the Tridacna species, is one of the 2 genera and 9 species of giant clams. Giant clams occurs in association with coral reefs throughout the tropical Indo-Pacific region. Giant clams are unusually in that they derive a substantial portion of their nutrition from relationship